Across our beautiful planet, there are continents that divide us physically. On these continents are individual nations, each comprising of their own languages, cultures, traditions, and people. Some are quite similar to others, usually if they are close in proximity. The characteristics which determine a country's identity often stem from its demographics, culture, politics, geography, infrastructure, economy, history, and more. Out of all of the countries on Earth, which two are the least similar? This is, of course, a very difficult question to answer, as there are so many variables. However, we believe it is Japan and a Western Saharan country like Niger. So let's start off by comparing their demographics. Japan has a population of around 125 million, making them the 11th most populated country on the planet. Niger, on the other hand, has a population of just 24 million, about 5 times smaller than that of Japan's. Tokyo itself has a much higher population than that of the entirety of Niger. Niger's capital and most populated city is Niamey, who has just 1 million inhabitants. But the demographic that is mind-blowingly incomparable is their average ages. Japan ranks as having the oldest averaged aged population in the world at 48.6 years. Its average life expectancy is around 84 years, again one of the highest on the planet. Around 17% of its entire population are under the age of 20. Niger, however, unbelievably, has an average age of just 14.8, the lowest anywhere on Earth. Its life expectancy is just 62.8, and it finds over 60% of its population being under the age of 20. This means that the average Japanese person is 34 years older than the average person from Niger. This is so hard to comprehend. Japan's population has also peaked and is now declining, whereas Niger's is doing the complete and utter opposite. Today it is around 26 million or so, but is projected to reach almost 50 million by the year 2040, 100 million in the 2070s, and incredibly 165 million by the turn of the century. In the year 2065, Japan and Niger's population are projected to meet, both seeing around 95 million each. From then onwards, Japan's will continue to decline, whereas Niger's will only increase. Another big difference in their demographics is that the people in these countries are completely different races. Due to long geographic isolation after migration out of Africa, East Asians are especially different from Africans. As a result of living at higher latitude, East Asians developed lighter skin colour. Being very close to the equator, the people of Niger have dark skin to protect them from the powerful UV rays of the sun. The people of Niger also have wider noses in comparison to those in Japan, as having a wider nose is an evolutionary process that allows humans to breathe in more oxygen in the hot and humid climates. In terms of geography, again, they are nothing alike whatsoever. Japan is an archipelago, which by the way is my favourite word, or a string of islands on the eastern edge of Asia. Niger is a landlocked country located in northeast Africa, within the West Saharan region. In terms of their physical size, Niger is actually around 4 times larger, at over 1.2 million kilometers squared. Japan is a very long but narrow country, around 3,000 kilometers long in fact. Niger is, well, quite the opposite. It is long and is wide. It is more like a circular shape. Almost 4/5 of Japan is covered with mountains. The Japanese Alps run down the center of its largest island, Honshu. Niger, however, extends southward from the Tropic of Cancer, and the northern 2/3 of its territory lies in dry tropical desert. In the southern part of the country, the climate is characterized by a single short rainy season. Niger is, well, there's no nice way to say it, disgustingly hot year-round. Its coldest months see temperatures of around 32 degrees Celsius or 90 Fahrenheit, and its hottest months see temperatures of more like 42 degrees Celsius or 107 degrees Fahrenheit. As Japan is an island nation that is so long, it experiences many different climates, as well as threats of natural disasters such as earthquakes and typhoons. The northern parts of Japan and high altitude zones see freezing temperatures throughout the year, and cities like Tokyo can see temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius and higher. In terms of economy and workforce, surprise surprise, yet again they couldn't be more different. Japan is one of the most technologically advanced societies on the planet. It is extremely rich and well developed. It has the third largest economy size in the world at just under $5 trillion. Niger, however, finds itself in the bottom half of the world's economies, ranking 138th in the world with a very weak $15.6 billion. This means Japan's economy is over 320 times larger. Japan actually has 3 individuals with a higher net worth than Niger's entire economy. Just let that sink in for a moment. Around 87% of workers in Niger are in the agriculture sector, around 4% in industry and 9% in services. This is, again, the opposite of what you'll find in Japan. Japan's is 1%, 30% and 69% respectively. Niger's main exports are animal produce, whereas Japan's is vehicles and technological and industrial equipment, as well as chemicals. There is very little Niger and Japan have in common culturally as well. The Japanese language is not related to other languages outside of Japan. In contrast, Niger's official language is French. Japan is one of the least religious countries in the world. Around 75% of its people say that religion is not part of their daily life. In contrast, almost everyone in Niger says religion is important in their daily life. Since Japan is a much wealthier country, its infrastructure is of course much more developed than Niger's. Japan has one of the most sophisticated network of high-speed trains and mass transit in the world. On the other hand, Niger does not even have a railroad in the country. Japan also has around 650 vehicles per 1,000 people, whilst there are less than 10 vehicles per 1,000 in Niger. Japan's tap water, to no surprise, is very drinkable, whilst Niger's tap water has a very low quality score. Most people in Niger do not have improved sanitation. In addition, few households in Niger are connected to the power grid. So this comes to no surprise to anyone whatsoever, but of course Japan is a much richer, well-developed, technologically advanced country. It is an island nation with a variety of climates and terrains. It is an important country on the world stage and has a very deep and influential history. Niger, on the other hand, is a very poor, undeveloped, agricultural-based country. Its population is much lower than Japan's, but of course it is set to rise astronomically. How this amount of people will cope under a country with such weak infrastructure is a concern indeed. So there we have it. We believe Niger and Japan are the 2 least similar countries on the planet. Do you have any other suggestions? Please let us know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. It is of course 100% free and you can unsubscribe anytime you like at the click of a button. Thank you again for watching and we will see you very soon in our next video.